What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Tiege pack. Tiege makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Tiege Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tiege Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Tiege Hanley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Tiege pack. Feel the Tiege, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels, and I'm excited to be before you today. Shout out to all of my people in the building. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We in here. We getting to it. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up, friends and family? What's going on? Yeah, we here. Did y'all enjoy the show last night? I see y'all on the big screen. We here today. You know, my life is so great. It is so awesome. Regardless of what happens on a day-to-day basis, you have victories, you have successes, you have losses, you have sad moments, you have happy moments, but I tell you, man, life is absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. I cannot stress enough how phenomenal life is. What's up, Mona D? Can I get a, Miss Jennifer is in the building, Larry Walker, Link Jack. Can I get a general sentiment in the chat of how y'all feeling today? Can I get a general sentiment in the chat of how the people is feeling on this beautiful, beautiful, absolutely awesome. Joe Gunn saying, you starting all day, huh? All right, Ari. I see it. Y'all, Anton was wrong. Like, nah, I was right. I was right last night the same way that I'm right on a regular basis. Y'all, it's going to take y'all a minute. Great, dangerous, great, tied, salute, great, busy, inspire, successful, blessed, determined, grand rising, God-fearing, on the prowl, beyond measure, feeling great, acute, cautious, grinding, full, just ate breakfast, highly favored, productive, limitless, feeling blessed, sad, blessed, pimp, about to buy some land right now. Let me get a round of applause for that. Creative, getting organized, just came over from Angry Man. Shout out to AM. Man, blessings, fantastic, cold, chill, new job. Shout out to the new job, elated, focused, directed, redirected, bag chasing, Grateful. Shout out to Slant Sells Cars. Good. That corporate bonus hit. Amazing investment. Cold. Overtime. Fantastic. Feeling better than yesterday. I like that. Alive. Tired, boss. That means you've been working. Phenomenal. Pushing. Motivated. Focused. Powerful. Motivated. Chilling. Excited, says Tam Renee. Undefeated, says LS. Good morning, says Cartez. Hungry, says Big Suggs. So y'all feeling like I'm feeling. Y'all feeling like it's time to continue to run it up. Bitcoin Brown said ready. Danielle says fresh. Yeah, powerful words. Levite Apparel, good morning. Anton says sunshine. What up, sunshine? What up, y'all? What up? What up? What up? All right, well, let's get to it. Ain't nothing left to do it. Ain't nothing left to it but to get to it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have a phenomenal show today. I think that we're going to have an awesome, awesome, awesome time. Just like we do. Just like we do. Shampoo, I'm going to need you to catch up. It looked just like the feed. It looked just like the feed. Because chat lives matters. Let me get an early shout out to, I'm going to get to that in a minute. Housekeeping. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. We just dropped a video on the Patreon 2 days ago. Just dropped a video on the Patreon 2 days ago. So if you're not a part of the Patreon, you're really missing out. But if you want to tap in with a group of people that's going in the direction that you're going in, make sure you link up. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Also, on top of that, shout out to the sponsor of the show, Tiege Hanley. 30% off your first order plus a free gift if you are not a part of the Tiege Pack. Ladies, get it for the fellas. Fellas, don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. Get your Tiege Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift, man. Trini Life says, Anton, how are you, bro? That's a good question. I feel absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I got the siding going up on the house today. We got groundbreaking on our next build. I've learned so much in the real estate development process as far as building properties. I'm always looking for new challenges and new opportunities to really, really grow and take care of business. Trap and Slay says that video he posted in the Patreon made me get up off my butt and work. Look. Look. Listen, y'all don't have no excuses. If y'all seen what it is that I generate purely off of hard work, figuring out how I can maximize the investments and the returns that I get, the return on investments, the ROI that I get from anything that I do, not just from what you put into the stock market, not just from what it is you do in corporate America, not from what every single thing that we do, we maximize the return on our investment. If y'all don't see that and like to extract all of the money, all of the opportunity, and at the very least, is motivated, I don't know how to get you there. Because I don't know anybody that is showing you those type of, I don't know any millionaire. Because I'm trying to be a little bit more humble nowadays. I don't know anybody that's a millionaire that is willing to show you their bank accounts, their 1099s, their W-2s, paychecks, deposits, and also give you the insight and information that you need in order to actually acquire it. And then if I'm sitting here and I'm grinding and I never, ever, ever miss, even on days that I have to be offline, which means that I cannot live stream, but I do the pre-records or I do when I'm proactively taking care of everything. If I am working harder than you every day, then we got a problem. If I am working harder than you, but then I show you what my numbers are and I also give you the insight of how it is that you can leverage my information and then do it yourself, and you are not a bag chaser, I don't know how to motivate you. We got content creators out here, they giving y'all financial advice every day, but all they doing is just talking and they not actually showing you anything. They not actually giving you any real insight and information. They're not extracting any real information. They're not learning who you are so they can be able to approach you a lot more effectively. But then they'll justify their mindset and say, well, listen, I'm not showing you nothing, but I'm going to just tell you what you're supposed to do. What does that mean? What does that mean? Question your leadership. And I'm not saying that I'm your leader. I'm telling you to question anybody that you look at for insight, information, or motivation. Question, and there's nothing wrong with questioning it, because that doesn't mean that you're tearing them down. What it means is that you're trying to figure out your why. You're trying to understand what it is that they're trying to communicate to you. And if the vessel is worth the pour. If the vessel is worth the pour, right? They're pouring out of it because, listen, how can somebody, I've seen so many different people. Everybody is a coach now. Everybody can give you game. Everybody got an opinion. Cool. That's cool. And this ain't directed to nobody in particular. I'm just seeing what I see on a daily basis. I see it on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. How they gonna give you game, but they can't show you receipts? That's all I'm asking, because how do we qualify these people? And for so many people, they want to be a part of the conversation and they want you to listen to them. And it's okay if they get compensated for their services, if they add value into your life. But how can they pour into you when they ain't even poured into themselves? Help me to understand. Listen, you can't tell me how to make $1 million if you ain't never made $1 million in a year. How can you give me game on how it is that I'm supposed to double my income? All they telling you is double your income. Okay, well, how do I do that? If I'm in corporate America, what steps do I take in order to interview more effectively? How is it that I'm supposed to approach this? What's the next level up? How do you build your own business from scratch? What is a business plan? How do you bootstrap it up from the beginning in order to make sure that you don't spend a whole lot of money investing in something that you don't necessarily need to throw money at? How can I build this thing and take a calculated risk without necessarily taking out a loan and then getting a whole bunch of debt as a result of it? If they're not breaking down step by step and also showing you the receipts as to how you were able to do it or how they were able to do it, because I can show you what my failures look like. I can show you what my successes look like. I can show you every single thing that I'm showing you. And this is the thing that we have to start requiring from our leaders. Force them, your pastors, your preachers, your financial analysts, your accountants. If your accountant or the person that's advising you on what it is that you're supposed to invest in is not also investing in it themselves, then how can you take advice? Listen, if it's good enough for you, then how come you're not doing it? If it's good enough for you, I want you to do the same thing that you're doing to me. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Do the same thing that you telling me to do. Just show me that you did it, and then we gonna go. I get it. Everybody got the same talking points. Everybody is leaning on everybody else's talking points, but I don't believe in everybody else's talking points because they're wrong. And that's why I use my own self as an example in order to illustrate a point. You know why I respect Dave Ramsey so much? I respect Dave Ramsey so much because he lives by it. Now, we can sit here and we can debate whether or not he's right or he's wrong, and that's why he's a content creator, and that's valid. But the thing that you cannot disprove from him is that he's not a reflection of the thing that he's preaching to you. And so how can you then give advice? Because everybody want to start a channel, but you don't actually live it. And so the one thing that you even learn from Jesus himself is that he didn't even start preaching the gospel until he was well over 30 years old, which means that he had to live it and he had to be a reflection of it before he advocated for you to do it, not only in the word of what he was preaching, but also in how it is that he was living it, which was the real word. He was the living word. He was the living word. He was a living word. That means that when he went out to actually do the things that he said that he was going to do, he was a reflection of it, and he did it. And so all I want to know is, how can we solve for an issue when we don't actually have a reflection of what we're supposed to live by? A blueprint. A blueprint. How can somebody teach you how to be successfully married and they 3 times divorced? How can somebody teach you how to be successfully married if they 3 times divorced? That's all I'm asking. If your wife don't respect you, how can you tell us how it is that we supposed to be moving as far as vetting a woman effectively? That's all I'm asking. If you ain't made $1 million in a year and you don't got the receipts for it,
How can you teach me how to be a millionaire? That's all I'm asking. Because when the rubber meets the road and I pull up on people and I say, okay, well, let's play big bank, take little bank. Let's show our assets. Let's show our spending summary. Let's say what it is that we really say and then reflect on it. Because anybody can debate. But see, paperwork shut all of that down. See, we want to have paperwork parties when it comes to you getting out of prison and determine whether or not you snitched or not. But we don't want to have paperwork parties when it comes to whether or not you got the receipts for what it is that you preaching out here in these streets, man. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. At any point, we can have a paperwork party. We can show our listen, when I dropped what I dropped on Sunday, I didn't just show you the 1099. I showed you each and every month of what every single deposit looks like. And we broke it down. And then I also showed you what the projections were based off of new things that I had going on. When I show you my W-2 for my regular job and my 1040s, right? I'm more transparent than the president. If you really want to see it, it's right there. All we asking for you to do is substantiate your argument. That's my only requirement. I've been doing it since Fight Club. Substantiate your argument. How y'all sitting here taking advice from people? Now, if you just entertain, then you just entertain. I'm cool on that. I'm with it. But how you sitting here taking advice from people, relationship-wise, financially, spiritually, and all of that stuff, when they're not a real reflection of what it is that they telling you to do, man? You just sheep among wolves, and you don't even know. You'll know them by their works. You'll know them by their works. It's no reason for us to sit here and even debate this. You'll know them by their works. So we can do all of this and do all of the debating that we want. But across the board, in every single category, you can't F with me. Across the board, in every single category, knowing the word of God, spirituality, relationships, financially, every single building block, being a great, phenomenal father, a reflection of how it is that we're supposed to operate within our community, giving back, giving your real money and investing in other people's businesses, being a mentor, great in corporate America, building businesses. In no way, shape, or form can any of your favorite content creators F with me. In no way, shape, or form. Not one of them can truly talk to me as though we are on the same levels. Now, I respect everybody, but we not the same. Let's be clear. I've come into this year very humble, but please stop sitting here comparing me to whoever it is that you like. Because if they don't have every single building block together, if you got your money right, but your relationship is trash, if you got your relationship right, but your spirituality is garbage, if you got your spirituality together, but you don't know your kids, if you know your kids, but then your money is messed up, don't sit here and talk to me about how it is that we need to be having a debate. We not the same. Now, I may have a conversation with you, but from a debate perspective, we not in the same league. Let's stop talking about it. Let's really stop comparing. I live my entire life like an open book. Every single part of it. Mom, brother, child, wife, everything. I'm all of the above. I'm a trifecta. That's all I'm saying. Y'all ready to get into the show, or y'all ready to just talk about it? Y'all ready to get into the show, or y'all ready to talk about it? Let me go ahead and read some of the super chats. Matter of fact, let me make sure that I acknowledge Wally Amin in the building on Cash App. I appreciate you, big dog. Thank you for continuing to rock with me. My dog, Mike, that dude, I appreciate you on Cash App. Always coming through and showing love. I hope that I'm giving you just as much value as you give me. Also, chat lives matter. I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Brittany, Trap and Slay, Pluto Silk, All of you guys are absolutely awesome. Let me acknowledge a few of the super chats, and then we're going to get into the show. Shout out to my dog, Slan Sells Cars, says, good morning, Bag Chasers. Slan Sells Cars over there in Sacramento. Make sure y'all tap in with him. He going to get you what you need and make sure that you're riding clean. Mr. Maximus says, I thought I was wild, but I ain't never run a train, at least with all of my... 2K is wild last night, wasn't he? 2K wild last night. Shout out to my dog, Max. I appreciate you. Riz Area C says, hey, AD, tuning in from Sydney. Let me give him a shout out to all of my people over there in Sydney, Australia. Love the show. Quick question. I want to get to the bag chaser. Should I wait until 3/1? Well, what part of the month is it? The 13th? No, I wouldn't wait. I wouldn't wait till it's probably somewhere around the 23rd, 24th, 25th. Then it's make more sense to wait till the next month. But I wouldn't wait. I would join right now. So shout out to Riz and my people over there in Sydney, Australia. I can't wait to go on my international tour. Shout out to you, baby. You make sure you get into the chasers, babe. You a chaser. Y'all already said that you a chaser. Levi Apparel says, Anton, what do you think about those Nigerian millionaires plane crash? They were heading to the Super Bowl, no news or talking to them. I did a whole segment on it. You must have missed that part of the show. I did a whole segment on it yesterday. Yep, did a whole segment on it yesterday. It's a clip coming out about it today on this channel. I got you, Riz. I did a whole segment on it. I think it's more to it. I don't believe that it's just as cut and dry as people trying to make it out to be. Shout out to Enos Luby. He sent me some merch, sent me a hat. I got that. My people telling me that they got that. I got to go pick it up. Feel impressed, but blessed. The Patreon video was Monday. Shout out to all my international players like Enos Luby. David in the building says, your budgeting video was no joke. I'm looking at 100K in savings alone. There's a reason why we approaching 6,000. Approaching 6,000 bag chasers. We are a army and a community of our own. Says your budgeting video was no joke. I'm looking at 100K in savings alone, but it will be in an investment account. Thank you very much. Shout out to Dave. I shout out to my bag chasers. Ari Reed in the building says, passing around a collection plate. Thank you for that blessing, my love. P. Shank is in the building says, good morning, Mr. Daniels. I appreciate you. And Delta Fox came through and said, Anton, one of my coworkers got plastered at a company event last night. I'm afraid to read the rest of this. Goes on to say, so drunk that he harassed a lady from marketing. And he left his backpack and coat at the VP's hotel suite. He wasn't let go because he's friends with the president of the company. Jesus, Delta Fox, what is going on in your company? You know what I would say? I would say mind your business. In that type of situation, you might want to mind your beer name, but I do appreciate the 50 ball and for you making sure that you hold down the platform. Do not duplicate that type of behavior. Don't get plastered. Don't leave your coat. Don't leave your and stay away. Don't mess with the help. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my girl Trapping Slayers in the building says, I introduced my client to you the other day before she left my chair. She officially became a back. We gonna have this movement moving by word of mouth. Trapping Slay is officially my girlfriend for the day. Shout out to Trap. I love you, girl. Dark 8, shout out to you for continuing to get the people to do the thing that's in their own best interest. Dark 80s man says, this one on me. Yellow boys. Shout out to the Dark 80s man. I appreciate y'all. Let's go ahead and get into the shika show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Quick Hits. Quick Hits is the segment of the show that we don't necessarily think that we need to dedicate an entire segment to each individual subject that we're talking about. But you know what we do? You know what we do? We got to make sure that we keep you guys informed on what's going on out here in these streets, man. So, first and foremost, no new major news outside of the Fani Willis of what we've already expected. However, the judge is starting to weigh in on whether or not Fani could really be held accountable for this situation. And we know that Fani, not Fani. Fani's team is subpoenaing, making sure that they try to remove this case from under the judge's nose in the first place. Shout out to my dog Lance Swizzle. I just got that article that you sent to me. I'm going to be tapping in because I seen that. We're going to be talking about that, Lance, on After Hours tonight. Tonight we got After Hours. We're going to be talking about that straight from the condo. But check out what's going on with Fani, y'all.
In the last few hours, lawyers for Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis and Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade were in court trying to block subpoenas that would require them to testify at a hearing later this week.
Now, during that hearing, a judge will evaluate a motion seeking to disqualify the pair from prosecuting the ongoing Trump RICO case. Investigative reporter Zach Merchant has been tracking this story for weeks now. He joins us live in the studio with the latest. Zach.
Guys, the big takeaway today, despite DA Willis asking the judge to cancel that hearing, Judge Scott McAfee said it will proceed as scheduled. It's the latest development in the ongoing controversy in the case after one of Trump's co-defendants, Michael Roman, filed a motion seeking to kick Willis and Wade off of the case, accusing the pair of having an improper romantic relationship. Earlier this month, Willis and Wade admitted they had a relationship, but Willis denied benefiting from it. Willis asked the court to cancel the disqualification hearing and just rule on the motions, but today, Judge Scott McAfee said Thursday's hearing will happen.
The state has admitted a relationship existed, and so what remains to be proven is the existence and extent of any financial benefit, again, if there even was one.
Judge McAfee scheduled time on Thursday and Friday for the hearing and also left open the possibility it could last even longer. The judge did block the subpoena of Nathan Wade's bank records today, but so far he has not yet definitively ruled on whether Willis and Wade will have to testify.
Now, what do I say on this show? It always comes back to the moolah, baby. Because the question is, did they benefit from an improper relationship? Unequivocally, my opinion is yes. Because you can't make over 700 bands. You can't make the equivalent of $750,000 and the separation between you and the next guy is this big of a gap. And if I'm busting you down and I got to use the taxpayers' money, we going to be going on trips together. So you can't say that they didn't benefit from an improper relationship. But the real question that we asking ourselves here is this, guys. How can you be fighting a case and you trying a case at the same time? How you going to be fighting cases and trying cases at the same time? What in the black culture is happening here? I ain't never seen nobody that's fighting cases and trying cases. I don't even know how you had the capacity to be able to do so. You got to be a smooth young brother to be busting it down, fighting cases, trying cases, and going through divorce proceedings at the same time. Listen, they got 3 cases, 3 different situations, and they giving straight up bust down faces all at the same time. I don't even know when you have time to get it bust down. You trying Trump, you dealing with YSL, you going through divorces at the same time, and you trying to get subpoena for whether or not you was benefiting improperly financially from your relationship from busting down a 50-something-year-old woman? Come on, fam. Come on. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. But we going to continue. This is just quick hits. We're not going to deep dive into it right now. Let's continue. So in addition to that, businesses are considering suing the city of Oakland because of all of the crime and everything that is happening over in the city. I agree with you, Eric Daniels. That's why she needs to recuse herself. But no, she said that we could do it all. Businesses are thinking about suing the city of Oakland. Check it out.
New at 5, frustrated business owners in the city of Oakland say they're ready to take the city to court.
Yeah, they say more needs to be done to crack down on break-ins that are affecting their bottom line. Our crime reporter Henry Lee is here now with the latest developments. Henry.
Well, Mike and Julie, these business owners say they've been asking over and over for the city to do more. They say they're deciding whether to get the city's attention by suing. Another small business in Oakland burglarized before dawn Monday.
Angry so much.
It happened at Hemo Spot Juice Bar and Cafe at Seminary and Foothill in East Oakland at about 4 in the morning. Owner Ahmed Almoad tells me the burglar stole a cash register and caused thousands of dollars in damage.
They broke in the store, they closed today. No money, no cash, no customer.
And this is the worst it has ever been. It's very scary. We need solutions now. We need things to be done now.
Ali Albasiri of the Bay Area Small Merchants Chamber of Commerce says some store owners are considering suing the city because they feel helpless, like the juice bar owner.
I told him not to call his insurance because as soon as he calls his insurance to file a claim, then the insurance company will not renew his policies. And this is the problem that we are suffering right now.
The break-in happened a day after Albasiri spoke at a rally outside the In-N-Out in East Oakland, which will close next month because of crime.
We are in a state of emergency right here, and we are going downhill fast. This is a nosedive, and we need to step up and stop this insanity.
The same group has held similar rallies across Oakland, demanding solutions.
That's right. I am, just as responsible as the mayor and the rest of us.
Oakland City Council member Noel Gallo attended the rally and agreed more needs to be done by those in office.
The reality is in government, and I said from the federal, to the state, to the county, to the city, we need to be more in cooperation with each other. And we as a taxpayer demand that action.
Now, business owners plan to meet with attorneys this week to decide whether to take legal action against Oakland.
Now we're in a space to where I agree Oakland is done, Lance. Now we're in a state to where people are evaluating whether or not they got to sue to get protection for businesses that they pay taxes on in order to keep people employed and to keep the city's coffers filled. I got to pay you, or I got to pay somebody for you to do your job in order for us to be safe. But you get what you pay for. You get what you vote for. You wanted to pay for somebody to represent you that didn't have your best interests at heart, and so now you want to complain about it. The one thing that we don't want y'all to do, though, is to try to move out and come over into another city and then bring your same mindset and voting practices with you. Now y'all got to protest. I've never seen, I could be off, in my 41 years on the face of this earth, I've never seen business owners protest the city that they do business in for protection. Not one time do I ever remember in my entire existence on the face of this earth, business owners having to protest in order to get things done in their own city. But, like I said, this is what y'all voted for, so this is what we're going to rock with. And then last but not least, and this really saddened me, I was heartbroken as a result of this last thing. A mother is grieving her son after he was killed as a result of a basketball game. A basketball game.
Tonight, the mother of a 10th grader shot and killed after a basketball game in East Point wants justice. 15-year-old Mario Bailey was killed outside the game at a Tri-Cities high school on Friday night. That's where Fox 5's Rob D'Arienzo is live for us today. Rob, you saw cops back at the school today.
Christine, good afternoon to you. That's exactly right. Cops are actually back here at the scene. They've been coming and going all day. So much heartbreak in this community tonight. The 15-year-old's mom says she showed up here moments after she got the news.
All I can say is I'm so that was my one and only child.
Mario Bailey's mom says she just spoke with him a few minutes before someone shot him outside a basketball game at Tri-Cities High in East Point Friday night.
I just had text my kid maybe 9:23, 9:22, and he was being killed at 9:25.
The principal says multiple fights broke out as spectators were leaving the game against Banneker High. Another student was stabbed but survived. Shanice Bailey says she rushed over there trying to find her son.
The police, the ambulance coming from everywhere. They shutting off the scenes, everything. I'm looking like, I'm calling my son, I'm texting my son. I look at his location, he right here.
Bailey describes Mario as a bright, free spirit and a hard worker. He planned to join the military after graduation.
We raising Mario to be better than our environment. At the end of the day, we raising him to be better. And this situation right here, it just tore up everything that we did for him.
On Monday, there was a notable police presence back at the school. The principal told parents they're offering in-person and virtual counseling for students who need a shoulder to cry on. Bailey's killer is still on the loose, and with so many kids there that night, his mom knows someone can help find them.
I really would like people that was there at the scene to just say, like, this what happened.
She's now left to bury her only son, but she's confident police will catch his killer.
The message that I do have for the people that did what they did to my son, my heart break for you, because when the police find you, your mama gonna cry like I'm crying.
And back out here live, still so many unanswered questions tonight. You can see those Fulton Schools police units outside of the school as the investigation continues. Meanwhile, Bailey says they're planning a candlelight vigil for her son tomorrow night. Of course, we're going to get some more details on that, and we will pass those along.
Nate, basement of politics and news, you speak in the sentiments of my heart. You're speaking the sentiments of my heart. Two things. Number one, ain't nobody snitching. They keeping it real in the hood. Ain't nobody snitching, because snitches get stitches, boy. What type of jungle and what kind of standards do we have? Everybody know who did everything except for the very mother that got to bury her kid out here in these streets. Ain't nobody snitching. Ain't nobody telling. Ain't nobody talking. Stab, fight, gunshots, bullets whizzing everywhere. Dude was supposed to be going into the military and everything is gone. That's number one. Number two, every single story that I see and that I hear permeate and come across these platforms, I see the same thing, different day. And what do I see? There's never, ever, ever any man that is even remotely close to getting in the camera or that this woman is attached to that say it was a father that was in their life. Never. I've never, ever, the last father that I seen participate, and probably one of the only fathers that I seen on these platforms, the last father that I seen that was in these children's lives was Carly Russell. You know, the chick that was saying that she seen a little white baby on the side of the road? That was the last father that I seen participating in a child's life that ultimately something happened to him. And even in Carly Russell's case, nothing really happened to her. She just made up a whole bunch of nonsense, but nothing happened to her. I never, ever, ever see a man participating in these children's lives, but we continue to open up their legs and then have these children and try to raise these kids by themselves, and you can't. And we can sit here and debate and go back and forth and say, well, it's the man's fault for not fighting and participating in the kid's life, and it's the mother's fault for not choosing the right man to have a children by, and all of this stuff. But ultimately, we don't necessarily mean nothing. It could be her and her grandmother. It could be her and... I don't see a father in the picture. Nowhere. Nowhere. We could mean grandmother, grandfather, family, community. It could mean anything. I don't hear her say his father, me and his father. I don't see none of that. So listen, I don't do maybes. I don't do maybes. The only thing I do is what I see. I react to what I see. And I don't see a father in the picture, and that's unfortunate. But ladies and gentlemen, that's your quick hits. Shout out to my dog Lance Swizzle in the building. Says, Anton, I got this 20 ball for you, big dog. I appreciate you, Lance Swizzle, for continuing to support the platform, my dog. My dog, me and Lance go way back. You know what I'm saying? I done known Lance for at least 25 years. You know what I'm saying? Lance knew me, and I met Lance in high school. I said, that's a real one right there. Shout out to Lance Swizzle in the building. I appreciate you, my dog. Thank you for holding me down. Let's go ahead and move over into the bulk of things and getting into the show because we got a lot to talk about. I'm going to warn you. We got to talk about migrants, kid migrants, throwing out bullets out here in Times Square. We got to talk about Kamala Harris. She says she's ready to be president of the United States of America. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. We got to talk about this new report that say women are outpacing men when it comes to purchasing homes. We got to go over budgets of a person that is making $132,000 a year. And we got a lot to get into, a lot to talk about. So this is the Millionaire Morning Show, sponsored by Tiege Hanley. 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Also, if you are not a part of a Patreon, if you're not a part of the Bag Chasers, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I say we go ahead and get into the show. So let's revisit, before we get into all of that other stuff, because I had questions yesterday and I was confused. And so I said, Harpo, who is this woman that is walking up in Lakewood or Lakeside Church with Joel Osteen and them and throwing out shots? Everybody. I said, who is this woman? Harpo, who is this woman that's bringing her kid up in there? Did y'all know that they said that the kid had a bullet lodged in their head? So I had to do a little bit of digging, and I didn't really find as much as I wanted to find, but I certainly found something. And I said, okay, well, now that all of the carnage is cleared, we need to figure out who's this woman and why was she running up in this church?
But we start tonight with the latest on the Lakewood Church shooting that has made national headlines. Thank you so much for joining us tonight at 10 o'clock. I'm Daniela Guzman.
And I'm Keith Garvin. We are learning more tonight about the woman who opened fire in the church and the young child critically injured. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry is live at Lakewood Church tonight as we hear from the family of the 7-year-old boy who was shot in the head. Bryce.
Keith and Daniela, that 7-year-old victim who police say is the shooter's biological son continues fighting for his life in the hospital tonight as his grandmother is sharing a statement for the first time calling this a completely preventable horror. And tonight we have new reporting. Divorce records are revealing details about that shooter's documented mental health history, as police have called it, as well as a possible connection to this megachurch. Tonight, local, state, and federal investigators combing through evidence collected from the home of 36-year-old Genesee Moreno, who Houston police say opened fire in Joel Osteen's church Sunday.
My bad, I was muted. I got you. Thank y'all for holding me down. I appreciate you. Now, of all of the things that I combed through, I appreciate you. See, I'm catching it faster. I'm getting quicker with it. Of all of the things that I will look through, okay, I have seen nothing, and I mean absolutely nada, zilch, zitch, nada, nothing whatsoever. Nothing at all that said that Genesee Moreno was a man. And so what I'm trying to figure out is, where did y'all get this information from? And how did y'all determine that? Where did y'all get this information from? What credible source? Because I'm hearing that they were married, woman, all of this stuff. Where did y'all get this from? Where did y'all get this from? Where did y'all see? Where did y'all get this, that this person was a man? Candace Owens said it? Let's see. Let me go see if Candace Owens said it. Because, see, y'all got to start substantiating y'all argument. What news outlet said it? South Child sources. Email it to me. You got to email it to me because y'all can't just be saying stuff now. Ain't no, if I can't discern, I don't go based off of pictures. When we talking about something as serious as this, when we're talking about something as serious as this, we have to be 100% sure. 100% sure. Now, I don't go based off of theory. CNN said it. Fox. Who? Somebody send it to me and help me to understand it. Because I'm on Candace Owens' platform right now, and I don't see nothing. Not one thing. I don't see anything. I don't see one thing that says that anything about it to being a man. Her socials, dude, he a migrant. On a Google ad, did the research. Send me a credible news source that say that this is a biological male. Fox said it on what? I don't see it. Candace said it on what? On what? Patrick Bet Davis said it. Okay, when y'all send it to me, when you send it to me, then we'll substantiate it. But the only thing that I can go on is based off of, you see, some people saying they think this person said it. Where? All right, when y'all send it to me, when I get it in my email, let me go through my email. Let me see. I'm going to put my email up. I'm going to pull my email up. I'm clicking your link from Vice. All right, so let me pull it up. I'm going to pull up your Vice link. I got to make sure that ain't no spam, and then we're going to go through it. Because I want to 100% be sure. I don't want to just be out here speculating. All right, we got to dig deep into this. Give me a second. According to Vice News, I'm about to pull it up. Give me a second. Libs of TikTok and Elon Musk administration as far right's desperate push to make trans terrorism a thing. Far right is desperate to make trans terrorism a thing, so desperate in fact that they're willing to push out incorrect or false information just to shore up their baseless narrative that trans people are inherently dangerous. The latest example played out since Sunday when a woman and her 7-year-old in tow walked into Lakewood mega church in Houston. They didn't even spell Houston right, but we gonna continue to roll with it. The shooter, 36-year-old Genesee Moreno, was killed off by an armed force. Blah blah blah. 50 critical. On Monday, the account Libs of TikTok, which target alphabet people, has been accused of inspiring whatever blah blah blah. Posted a document online that suggested the shooter had used the name Jeffrey. So this is what a TikTok account asserted. In a press conference later on Monday, police officials noted that although the shooter appeared to utilize both male and female names, they found no indication that she ever identified as anything but a cisgender woman. So basically a biological woman. I'm still trying to understand what y'all talking about. So y'all send me an article. I guess y'all just read the headlines and y'all don't necessarily read what it is that they saying. All right, I'm going to pull up another one. Because y'all sending me, Anton, read the link that I just shot you. Okay. Let's see. Fox News. Let's pull up the Fox News article now. Lakewood Church shooter identified as Palestine written on a gun. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, I don't have access to that content. So apparently that can't play out. Because you got to have a subscription. And I don't have a subscription to Fox News. Let's use another article. Fox report on shooter. All right. Let's see if I can pull this up.
The police have identified the person who opened fire at Joel Osteen's megachurch in Houston yesterday. William LaJeunesse is on this for us. William, what exactly are we learning?
So we just got a hold of the search warrant and can confirm that the shooter is identified as a 36-year-old Genesee Yvonne Moreno. She had been born a man, Jeffrey Escalante, from El Salvador, and has a lengthy criminal record. Now, according to the search warrant from Montgomery County, she pointed an AR-15 at the officers, off-duty officers who were in the church at the time, and they fired upon her, killed her, and was considered in self-defense. Also, there was word that the woman had claimed that she had a bomb and she had a backpack. They checked that out. Turned out it wasn't true, but according to the search warrant, she was in possession of a yellow color rope and substances consistent with the manufacture of explosives. They thought that was a detonation cord. They looked into it and it turned out not to be the case. We're also hearing from local reports that the 5-year-old who was with this woman is likely not to make it. The 5-year-old boy has been in critical condition, and according to the Houston Chronicle, it doesn't.
Why did they turn the comments off of this particular article?
A 57-year-old man was also shot in this altercation at Lakewood Church there in Houston, which of course is operated by celebrity pastor Joel Osteen. That individual, the 57-year-old man, he's going to be okay. He was shot in the leg. But the information we're getting now, we've seen a lengthy criminal record on this individual. Again, as a man, he had a lengthy record of assaulting a police officer, marijuana, also got a lengthy record here, several different offenses over about the past since 2005. So that's what we got from here, and news conference is scheduled to begin at 2:30 Eastern, and we should get more information.
Yeah, among the most serious, the 2009 assault of a police officer in Houston. William, 2010 forgery. Most recently, 2022, a misdemeanor weapons charge for unlawful carrying a weapon. William LaJeunesse, as you mentioned, 2:30, we're going to need an update from the police there, and we'll certainly take that live. Did you have something to add?
Well, no, just only on the AR-15 he had written.
All right, so they're saying, Fox News is saying that it's biologically born a man from El Salvador. OG Rihanna, I still don't know, because I don't know if this is. Let me go over to the original news that I was saying, but when they was breaking down exactly what was going on.
Joel Osteen's church Sunday.
Shooting at Lakewood, 2 people down. We need an ambulance.
Police say Moreno entered the megachurch wearing a trench coat with her son when she began firing an AR-15 bearing a Palestine sticker. Gunshots interrupted the start of a Spanish-language service before an off-duty HPD officer and TABC agent returned fire.
She eventually falls to the ground. The 7-year-old child falls to the ground as well.
Authorities haven't determined whose gunfire struck the child in the head, but his grandmother, writing on Facebook, no one may ever blame a police officer who carries out his or her rightful duty to save lives, even if they are found responsible for shooting my grandson. The shooter has been arrested at least 5 times, records show, in October 2022, pleading guilty to unlawful carrying of a weapon. Investigators say Moreno used many aliases, including some male names like Jeffrey, and that they've found anti-Semitic writings.
We do believe that there was a familial dispute that has taken place between her ex-husband and her ex-husband's family, and some of those individuals are Jewish.
Divorce records obtained by KPRC show her ex-husband in 2021 told a judge Moreno would physically attack him and on multiple occasions chased him out of the house with knives. One time, with their child in the car, she pointed a gun on him and that she told him all the time that she just tricked him to get her citizenship.
So wait. This is all crazy, all right? And just because somebody uses an alias does not mean that they are a man or they were biologically born a man. So basically what Fox News did, and this is why we always want to use multiple different sources, okay? This is why we want to use multiple different sources to compare and contrast and then draw our own conclusion. Because all they did was they pulled up the criminal record of an alias that she used and then said that, well, they have a long, lengthy criminal history, but she used multiple different aliases all the time because whoever this is, whether it's a man or a woman, is just a career criminal. And then I was doing some research and they say that the child was biologically hers along with a husband. So how could the child be biologically hers along with a husband if they're not, if this person is not biologically a woman? So you can't just say stuff. And this is why, I don't always just go and rush and be the first one to try to drop a story. I got to find out what's going on. Anton is out. How am I out of my depth here? I've been doing deep diving and researching and looking at every single article that I could find in order to try to understand what's going on here. Now, my point is that I still don't know for 100% certainty if it is or if it isn't. That's not my question. My question is, why are we so quick to just automatically say that it is or it isn't? And you can't just automatically assume that whatever it is that Fox News put up, or CNN, or MSNBC, or ABC, that it is what it is. And so my context clues right now is telling me that it's a woman because you can't be the biological male mother, but biologically born a male with another male and have a child. Let's continue.
Records reveal the child's paternal grandmother asked a Montgomery County court to appoint her temporary managing conservator, claiming Moreno had schizophrenia and didn't always take her prescribed medication.
She does have a mental health history that is documented through us and through interviews with family members.
While police haven't revealed a motive, the grandmother wrote in custody battle documents the church shooter and her mother knowingly and intentionally harmed the child by lying to authorities for reasons hard to understand even by the pastoral staff of Joel Osteen's church, where Moreno's mother attended. And that grandmother writing on Facebook, when family members seek emergency protections, they're not doing so for their own sake, but for the sake of the person who is ill and to protect her child and society. That grandmother also blaming the state for not having stronger red flag laws, which could have prevented Moreno from owning or possessing a gun. Tonight, police say that AR-15 she used was purchased legally, but they did find another gun in her bag, and tonight they're still investigating where that one came from. We're live in Upper Kirbytown. I'm Bryce Newberry, KPRC 2 News.
So, for example, we have, let me go back to that comment. It was a comment. Hold on, I want to go back to the comment that was said. Somebody said something. I think it was Jennifer. Was it a Jennifer? Jennifer said, he could have been a man that had a child with a woman from a previous relationship. Well, could have been, right? But my thing is that I can't substantiate that. I can't report based off of the gender, based off of what it could be or what it should be or what it can be or what it's not. The only thing that we can do when we trying to figure out what's going on is basically try to do as much research as we can and then report the facts. That's why we don't like one news source over the other, and that's why I try to use multiple different news sources throughout my shows, because I don't want to just say that it is or it isn't without 100% being sure. You see what I'm saying? So it could be a lot of things. We don't know. It's one of the problems that's over here in the United States of America, is that when you have illegal immigration or people coming into this country, we don't know their history. And so until we get more facts, the one thing that we do know is that it was absolutely tragic and egregious for them to go in there and shoot up a church. So for people, I just want y'all to use this as a lesson though. Don't automatically say anything until you 100% are sure. Otherwise, you messing it up and you presenting misinformation and you creating a narrative that may not necessarily be true. All right. It's all alleged. Until then, every single news source is saying that it's a woman. Let me read the super chats and then we're going to continue over with the show. Shout out to the chat. I love interacting with the chat. This is y'all show too. This is our show. Jason Lee says tuition. Shout out to my dog, Jason Lee. I appreciate my dog, Jason Lee. My dog, you know I know who you are. Shout out to you. Mr. Lot in the building says that's not a man, just dehydrated woman. Now, and we all think every woman look like a man now all of a sudden too. Levi Apparel says, Anton, are you going to skip on that robot police? What robot police? What are you talking about? Am I going to skip out on the robot police? You got to give me some more clarification. Sister says evil has no gender. That's a fact, though. That's a fact. I agree with you. Quentin is in the building, says Kim ain't allowed in Detroit. That ain't what the DM said. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all watch the Q show from last night to understand what we're talking about. We got the after hours popping off tonight. I might invite her over to after hours tonight to get more from her. I might have to pick her brain. That's a good idea. Because, we don't really have no format. We just do what we want to do on after hours. Prince Elian says MSM outlets aren't worried about getting the info correct. They don't wait to get the information because they're more focused on reporting first. What up, Q? What up, Q? Hey, Q. Can you tell Kimberly to come over to after hours tonight because I want to have a conversation with her? We'll get there. Shout out to Prince Elian in the building. All right, let's continue over to the next story. What we got going on with the next? Oh, man. Yes. We got to get over to Times Square because I told y'all that these people was going to be coming over here. And hold on. Before we get into this, can we all give Q, every single person in this chat, I want y'all to give Q, Island Gal Q, I want y'all to give her a round of applause for the job that she's doing putting together these shows and these panels. Can we get Q a round of applause? Because let me say this. One of the best assets that I have. One of the craziest little sisters that I have. One of the most insane women that I know. But no matter what, she's mine. And so nobody can say anything negative against her. I love that girl. Y'all make sure y'all give Island Gal Q a round of applause because that is my baby. That is my heart. That is my little sister. And she can do no wrong in my eyes. Except for when she throwing Quentin under the bus. All right, let's continue over with the show. So, over in New York, I heard that we had some small people, some young people, some crazy people doing some insane things. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. I heard that over in New York, they was over there shooting at Times Square. I said, I got to figure out what's going on over here.
The 15-year-old suspect accused in the Times Square shooting faces a judge. New details about his capture and the charges he now faces. Good evening. I'm Jessica Moore. That teenage suspect is being charged as an adult, and tonight he's being held without bail, deemed a flight risk. CBS 2's Alicia Reed has the new developments from court.
15-year-old Jesus Rivas Figueroa, seen here, taken into custody by U.S. Marshals on Friday, is facing 2 counts of attempted murder as well as criminal possession of a weapon and assault charges. We're no longer blurring the teen's face now that he's being charged as an adult. The PBA showing up to court in support of the officers.
This individual believed that he could steal. He believed that he could carry a legal firearm. He believed that he could shoot into a crowd, and he believed he could kill a New York City police officer, and he thought he was going to get away with it.
Arraigned in court on Saturday, police say Rivas Figueroa and 2 friends stole items from the JD Sports store on Broadway Thursday. When confronted by a security guard, police say he opened fire inside the store, hitting a 38-year-old tourist from Brazil in the leg.
So here's my first question, because we got to listen. The first thing that we always got to do is we got to ask questions. The first thing that we do is we ask questions. Ask questions. Where did a 15-year-old migrant? Look, man, I can't even go into a city that I don't know and feel comfortable enough to go and ask for where the hoes at. You know what I'm saying? Where did a 15-year-old migrant come over here illegally, get a chain, get a haircut? They got a new he got a barber. Look at this boy's hair. He got a wet set on one side and he lined up on the other side. Shout out to Q. I'm gonna read that super chat shortly. He got a barber, got a chain, got some clothes, stealing, and got a pistol. Just got here. Dude, do you know how egregious the gun laws over in New York are? Plaxico Burress had to do some time in jail because he shot himself in a club. And he already got it. Listen, he got a pistol and he willing to use it. He got one and he willing to use it. And if you try to stop him, he tried to let one go and hit a visitor from Brazil. Now imagine you over here trying to visit the United States of America. You know, the same way that we like to go over to other countries and visit, we like to go and visit, Dubai, Tulum, Jamaica, all of these places, right? Imagine that you go over to Italy or Tokyo or Colombia, or maybe you even want to get you a lady boy and you go over to Thailand, right? And I'm able to get some chains, steal, get a haircut, and find me a pistol and do what I want to do when I want to do it. And I don't even speak the language. Amazing.
This can't be the message that we're sending the world, that you can't come to New York City, that you can't do some shopping without getting shot.
2 officers spotted the teen near 7th Avenue and 47th Street and tried taking him into custody. That's when he allegedly fired at the officers before running into the subway. Court documents say the teenager returned home and tried fleeing to the city with his mother the next morning, but he was apprehended at a home in Yonkers. Court documents say he was hiding behind a dresser. Now, police say the 15-year-old arrived in New York from Venezuela less than 6 months ago.
And 6 months. And 6 months, a 15-year-old. First of all, I'm sure they got free. Where did you get housing from? How are you in behind a dresser? You got furniture, you got housing, you got clothes, you got a pistol, you got a haircut, you got a chain. Where are they getting all of this stuff from? What is going on? Look at this man crying at the bottom of my screen. Look, and you know what else they're gonna get? 3 hots and a cot. 3 hots and a cot. Where are they getting all of this stuff over in New York City? 6 months you over there hanging out in Yonkers? You over there with DMX? Oh, oh. Where my dogs at?
and was living at a migrant shelter on the Upper West Side. A police source tells us he's also a suspect in a January armed robbery in the Bronx, as well as another shooting in Midtown where no one was hurt. His bail has been remanded as he is deemed a flight risk.
New Yorkers need to send a clear message to our elected leaders. Demand better from our criminal justice system.
He over here robbing people. They over here running in the streets of New York and they tearing it up out there. He already a suspect in 2 other robberies. He 15. 15.
Rivas Figueroa is due back in court on Tuesday. The 2 friends he was with at the JD Sports store are also in custody. Now that tourist who was shot, she returned home today. At Manhattan Criminal Court, Elisa Reed, CBS 2 News.
Imagine coming over to New York City. I said, oh man, I want to go to the safest place on earth where there's police officers everywhere. And you a 30-something-year-old woman from Brazil and you get shot by a 15-year-old migrant. Good God.
All right, happening today in New York City, a migrant teen who was arrested for shooting at Times Square on Saturday back in court. Meanwhile, the city is imposing a curfew at even more shelters. A new report reveals the moped crime spree goes far beyond the Big Apple. It's organized. Madison Allworth joins us live with the latest. Madison.
Good morning, Brian. A lot to get to today. New York is expanding a curfew for migrant shelters as crime within that community increases. The latest, a Venezuelan migrant accused of shooting an innocent bystander in Times Square and then firing at the police officer who was trying to arrest him, is now in court. The 15-year-old Jesus Alejandro Rivas Figueroa is being charged as an adult after prosecutors say he tried to flee. The migrant and his mother, who started living in New York City migrant housing last year, packed up their belongings on Friday after the crimes, fleeing to Yonkers, where he was found 24 hours later behind a wardrobe. The alleged shooter being charged with attempted murder, assault, attempted assault, and weapons possession. But the problems expand far beyond that. With an increase in robberies perpetrated by migrants on scooters, we are now learning that the attacks may be coordinated and linked to large crime groups. One migrant telling the Post, quote, "It's much bigger than me. In a million years, I never thought you'd catch me. I've been going to Miami every 3 weeks, and it's much bigger than me."
So what did we think was going to happen when all of this played out? They done been back and forth to Miami more times than you. You still a hostage in your own city. You ain't never even left your own city. You still over there in little old Bumbletown, North Carolina, Mississippi, Texas, Plano, Texas. They making trips. They creating gangs. They growing. They coordinated. They got pistols, mopeds, flights, free hotels, healthcare coverage. Their kids is learning the language. What did y'all think that was going to happen? What are you talking about? It's bigger than you. And in a million years, you never thought that you'd get caught. So you just operating like this is 1950 and y'all building casinos in Vegas? What are you, Little Nicky? Jesus Christ.
The Venezuelan migrant is alleged to be a part of an illicit network that has been linked to robberies around New York City, Yonkers, New Jersey, and Florida, with proceeds being sent back to South America. Now, New York City is responding in part by imposing curfews on 24 migrant shelters. The curfew.
Yeah. That'll stop it. That'll stop it. Let's throw up a curfew. The curfew, guys. Listen. They running a ring. They knocking people out. They knocking heads over. They taking flights. They sending money back to the crib. They taking over New York City and Chicago and Denver. They flying back and forth to Miami. I know what'll stop them. Let's just get a curfew. Can we get Eric Adams a round of applause? Let's set a curfew. That's going to stop them. New York is going to turn into the Warriors. Warriors, come out and play. Warriors, come out and play. Warriors, come out and play.
Curfews will be in place from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. But this represents just a fraction of the city's migrant population. These new curfews cover around 3,600 migrants. And just to put that in perspective, there are currently 67,000 migrants in more than 200 facilities here in New York City. Brian?
So, Madison, it sounds like this Venezuelan gang has used the very lax border policies on our southern border to get these MS-13 people into the New York City area specifically to be a crime gang.
Yes, it does seem that that is the case, that they're taking advantage of an open border in order to not just to get here and to claim asylum, as obviously people are doing across the border, but to, in fact, be in a city where there are more lax DA policy and prosecution in order to perpetrate crimes that then send revenues back to South America.
So they.
Have y'all ever seen the Warriors? Let me show y'all the scene. Because this is crazy. Y'all got to see the scene. Warriors, come out and play. This is the migrants. Let me show y'all the migrants that's coming over into the United States of America. Oh no, they're not tripping off of you. They go to shout out to all of my migrant friends out here taking over New York. We appreciate you for continuing to do your due diligence and make Eric Adams look like a fool over there in New York. Tech Coach Ralph in the building says, in the Fox video, there was a police robot dog. Oh, no, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Interesting. Island Gal Q says, because some of y'all may not be familiar with that movie, so sometimes I got to bring y'all back because some of y'all so young and I was before y'all time. Actually, that movie was before my time, but I had older brothers. Go check out The Warriors. It's a phenomenal movie. Phenomenal movies. Island Gal Q says, thank you all. Thank you all super duper dope people in the chat. Thanks, Anton. Hey, Rita. Rita's out shopping, I think. I don't have no clue. Where is Rita? Who knows? What is Rita doing right now, matter of fact? Let me see what's happening in these streets. She better pick up, too. Better pick up.
Hello.
Where you at? I'm on the live stream.
On my way home.
Where you on your way home from?
I was picking up some stuff from the store that I ordered online for my birthday party.
Oh my God, shopping. So you were shopping?
Not really. They loaded it in the trunk for me, so technically I wasn't shopping. I just picked
So you shopping on a Tuesday in the middle? You just like them people from Atlanta.
What?
You just like them people. You just like them people from Atlanta. It'd be 11 p.m. in the daytime, and they just be out in the streets, clogging up the highways.
I'm feeling judged right now. I don't understand where all this animosity is coming from.
And then she gonna hit me up today. Let me tell y'all about this funky girl. She's supposed to be chilling, and she hits me up today, and she's at the dealership. And then she gonna text me. What did you text me this morning?
I don't recall.
What did you text me this morning?
I asked if you wanted to see what the Maybach looked like that they had at the dealership.
Get off my phone.
What is wrong with you? Why are you being so mean to me?
Bye.
My birthday is coming up.
Bye.
Bye.
Her birthday coming up. This chick talking about, hey, you want to see what this Maybach look like? Ma'am, you are randomly at the dealership on a Tuesday talking about my birthday coming up. Do you want to see what this Maybach look like? Girl, you just got a Porsche for Christmas. Good God. Just got a Porsche for Christmas. My birthday coming up in a few days. You want to see what this Maybach look like? No, I don't want to see what. Leave the dealership immediately. What are you doing at the dealership? Leave the dealership immediately. Immediately. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Walk away. Leave now. Now. Good God. Jesus. Chick got every freaking thing. What do you buy somebody that got everything? My grandma used to say that to me. What do you buy somebody that got everything? Some more of everything. That's what my grandma used to say. Hey, you want to see what this Maybach look like? On FaceTime me. No, I don't want to see what the freaking Maybach look like. Shout out to my girl Q. Don't bring up Rita no more, because that girl be shopping. Pookie's friend Ray Ray says he looks like one from a batch I dropped. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'll be so scared to pull up his super chat. Shout out to my girl Brittany. Says he need this bigger than that Nino Brown, baby. Yes. Hey, shout out to Tiffany Henry. I ain't forgot about you either. Get out of the chat, Rita. Leave now. Shout out to Chris James in the building. Chris James says, sliding this token your way, my dude. Just a reinvestment in myself. Oh, and an offering. Hey. Can we get a round of applause again for the Bag Chasers? Bag Chasers is winning. If y'all not a part of the Patreon, the link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Real talk. It's a lot of people that talk about it. We really lit this. Thank you for the 50 ball. Mondo Zah says, Anton, what advice and recommendations would you give to someone who wants to improve their communication skills and effectively articulate themselves? Do you really want to know? Listen, my advice is different from what you're going to experience everywhere else. All right? My advice is this. If you want to improve your communication skills, you need to go up and approach women. That is the number one thing that you can do. I'm going to give you a second thing that you should do. The number one thing that you should do is you have to have confidence in what you're saying, and that comes along with women. If you learn, sister, I know we do Toastmasters and all of that. I'm with it. That's public speaking. But there's two things that you should do before you get to that. The first thing you should do is go and talk to women. When you go up to and you can cold call, cold approach, when you can sell, when you can go up and do cold calling and sales, I'm telling you, you can do anything. When you feel comfortable going up to, and I'm not just talking about going up to a woman, go up to a group of women and talk to them all at the same time. It doesn't matter if you get rejected. It doesn't matter if you get dissed. It don't matter if they don't. Just go up to them. You ain't got to even try to get their number. Just go up to them and talk and start having conversations. And then ask them. I know that this is going to fly in the face of a lot of people that feel apprehensive. Ask them. Ask them and say, hey, like, don't even do it on no, like, first approach them and start talking to them. And then when you get done with them, ask them and say, hey, what is it? Is it anything that I could have improved? Like, real talk. Like, ask them for their real feedback. They going to tell you. They will tell you. I'm telling you. Talk to women, go up to them, and then ask them, hey, did I do anything off, or is it anything that I can improve on? Or how would you think that I would approach you? Just have a conversation. The minute that you start talking to people and walking up to them, it's going to be a hoot. You're going to be surprised at how successful you are. You're going to be surprised at how you start to determine how you can overcome objection. All of your sales fundamentals come from actually approaching women. That's number one. Number two, the second thing that you can do that's even better than Toastmasters is you need to record yourself. Create a video, do a video diary, and start recording yourself. You're going to start realizing all of the things that you do wrong because you're going to hate the way that you sound. When you watch yourself back, like, do a video diary. Do a 5-minute video diary. Force yourself to talk to yourself for 5 minutes every single day, and then rewatch it back. You're going to find out all of the 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 ums, the duh, the pauses, the awkwardness. And when you start to be able to communicate and talk to yourself in a video and watch yourself back, and then you can continue to replay it over and over again, you're going to start to fix all of the issues and the problems that you have. I'm not going to keep on giving y'all all of the game. That's a great question. Shout out to Mandaza. I appreciate you for the question. Self-Made Forever is in the building, says, Snake Plissken, Escape from New York, Escape from LA are predictive programming classics made ahead of their time, and AD saw both of these classics. I did. Absolutely. And the reason why both of those things work is because, first of all, one of them is confidence, and it teaches you the fundamentals of sales. And the second thing is self-awareness. And you don't really know what you're doing because your cultural norms is to adopt however the people that communicate around you. But when you start to record yourself, you start to see what all of the issues are. I'm telling you, it works. Shout out to AP Funding in the building, says, hey, AD, how can I join your mentor program? Bag Chasers. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. If you're not a part of the Bag Chasers, then you are missing out. Also, Chris J says, Porsche to Maybach 2 months later. Tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. I ain't lying. Got me out here. Woo! Says she going to spend all of the money. Ken J says, having your life in order greatly improves communication skills. When home is taken care of, your confidence is at an all-time high. I agree. Kevin Bell says, here, let's use what Kevin Bell says real quick. Kevin Bell has a random comment, and we like to participate in the chat because chat labs matters, and this is an interactive show. Kevin Bell says, let me see if I can find it. We got a toughie in here today. We got a tough guy. Said, this is simp advice. Who cares what a woman thinks? Feedback is feedback. And some of the best feedback that you can get is from somebody that would be the most objective about what it is that you're saying. See, when you get feedback from your peers, often at times they're going to tell you what you want to hear. So the reason that we want feedback is to improve. So it's not about whether or not she thinks it. It's about how can I continue to self-improve and leverage the information to be better in every aspect of my life. See, y'all just be saying stuff. This is that incel type of comment. I could tell by your avatar that you probably watch a lot of anime, probably play a lot of video games. You take your talking points from other dudes that be on here and you don't really understand why we saying what we saying. Bro, we talking about self-improvement. We're not talking about trying to get no box. You might be on the wrong program, the big dog. Can't find nothing else to watch. Is that what you took from that whole communication skill? What's wrong with these people, bro? Listen, contrary to popular belief, we don't advocate against the women. We don't like not liking women. We love women. We want women around us. Women, they feed us, they serve us, they have our children. We just hold them accountable because we want them to be better. Okay? Just because we hold women accountable don't mean that we don't want them around us. Listen, it's nothing worse than being around a whole bunch of hard legs. Talk about what we got up for the night. The one thing that my father, my mother will always tell you is that Anton from AntonDaniels.com. Although I'm down for my fellas and I love y'all, I rock with y'all, but it ain't nobody, not one person could ever tell you that I want to just be hanging around seven hard legs talking about, hey, fellas, what we got going on tonight? We going on a men's trip? Miss me with that. If it ain't no women in the room, I'm not coming. If it ain't no women in the room, let me be very, very clear before we get to the next thing, because we got to get this show on the road. If it's no women in the room, I'm not going to be there. I don't know what bars y'all go to. I don't want to go to no fraternity house and drink with the guys. I don't want to watch football with y'all. I don't want to do nothing. If it ain't no women in the room, I'm not going to be there. I've never went on an all men's trip. I've never done none of that. I don't even want to do a seminar where it's only men in the room. I'm not even inspired to give my best performance unless I know that it's going to be a woman waiting for me at the end of the rainbow. I need you. Y'all can have that. Y'all can have whatever it is that y'all got going on y'all own. Give me something soft. I don't even want a roommate. I ain't even gonna cap. Listen, unless my roommate is a woman, I always thought about if I was to ever have a roommate or if I was to ever have a housemate, what would that look like? It can't be a man. I'm just telling you. I don't want to room up with a dude. Because when we go to watch movies together, I don't want to watch. Hey, dog, what you got on TV? What? What up, Carrie? Miss Carrie, baby. What up? I don't want to watch a movie with you, big dog. You can keep that. I'm straight. Let's continue on with the show. I'm going to be reading Super Chats shortly. Kamala Harris, y'all. We got it. Before we get into women now buying houses, because I want to get into that article. I seen y'all keep passing that around and y'all keep talking about more women is buying houses more than men. I heard you. We gonna get there. But before we get there, there's been a lot of conversations about, hold on. Before we get into this, can we all agree that this is the greatest morning show on earth? Can we all agree that there is no news show? All of y'all old geezer shows that y'all watch in the morning, the same old, they reporting with the same slanted agenda. We have a ball over here. This is a Chat Lives Matter show. This is a show for bag chasers. We get entertained, we get information, we understand the news, we debate, we argue, we go back and forth, we joke with each other, we get to the money, we figure out where it comes back to the money, and then we have a good time. We have a ball. Listen, if you getting your news anywhere else, if your grandmama is sitting in the chair and she looking at them geezer stories, but she ain't sitting here croaking over, laughing, and having her last moments from AntonDaniels.com, if you are not putting YouTube on her TV and making sure that she is watching the Anton from Anton Daniels show, you are missing out. There is nothing and no one that does what we do over here at the Millionaire Morning Show. And I promise you, I will never sell my people out. I love you guys. Can't nobody do what we do. You can't teach this. You can't teach this. Let's continue. I heard Cam because everybody is concerned about what Joe Biden is doing, right? Everybody said, listen, Joe. We concerned about your memory. Every time you get on the Air Force One, you trip up the stairs. Now listen, it's one thing to trip like on the escalator or, when you walk in. Because I almost tripped into my office today. When you walk in and you stub your foot and then you look down like it was something there. It wasn't nothing there. And your shoes ain't extra grippy. You was just walking crazy, all right? It's one thing to walk and trip in. But it's hard tripping up the stairs because you gotta kind of catch yourself. And if your knees ain't as sturdy as they supposed to be, then they get a little bit more difficult. And the people are worried, justifiably so. And Biden got offended and he said, listen, guys, I'm offended that you think that something is wrong with my memory. We not offended, Joe. At the end of the day, whether we voted for you or not, you still our president because what you do and the decisions that you make, when your ankle roll, it's crazy. I got in the shower today and I thought that something was wrong with me. I said, ooh. But we just concerned because we know that you, if anything happens to you, Joe, as much as we think that your decision making is trash, next up is Cam. Yeah, Cam is up next. Did y'all know that? I know that we never really experienced this in our lifetime, but if anything was to happen to Joe, Cam is up next. It's her turn. In a recent interview was conducted on behalf of Cam, I believe it was the New York Times, and the author decided that they wanted to come on the news and speak about it. And what she's saying is that, listen, guys, I'm ready to be president. I'm ready to serve. If you don't think that Cam is going to be running for president of the United States of America in 2028, you are sadly mistaken. Listen, get ready for it. Get ready for it. It is happening. This is already in the works. They are grooming her. They are putting her in position. And I'm telling you, you're hearing it right now on February 13th, a Tuesday, 2024. She is coming and she is going to be running for president of the United States. And if he gets elected again, and if anything was to ever happen to him, God forbid, because we don't wish death on anybody, she is going to be the next in line. And guess what she's saying? She's ready to serve.
There have been questions about Joe Biden, and questions arose especially after the release of Robert Hur's report on President Biden's handling of classified documents and its amplified scrutiny about the president's age. In a new exclusive interview with Vice President Kamala Harris for the Wall Street Journal 2 days before the Hur report came out, Harris says she is, quote, ready to serve. The Journal writes, quote, there's no question about that. Harris responded bluntly. Everyone who sees her on the job, Harris said, walks away fully aware of my capacity to lead.
That's a heck of a statement to say about yourself. But let me give her a round of applause for her confidence. That's a heck of a thing to say about yourself. Listen to what she just said, y'all. Listen to what she said. She said, listen. I'm ready to serve. There is no question that everyone who sees me on the job walks away fully aware of my capacity to lead. She said, everybody that sees me on the job walks away in awe of my capacity to lead. That's a heck of a statement to say about yourself. But I got to give her credit for the confidence.
Let's bring in right now reporter for the Wall Street Journal, Tarini Party, who conducted the interview. Thanks so much for being with us. What was your takeaway with all the time you spent with the vice president?
Thanks for having me. So the vice president was pretty clear that she is ready to serve. And of course, this question normally doesn't come up as much for vice presidents, but this is something she is having to face because she is vice president to the oldest president. And now with this Hur report, this is going to keep coming up for her as Republicans try to make this an issue on the campaign trail. The other thing that was interesting from my interview with her is I spent a lot of time talking to her about abortion and the way she's talking about abortion rights. This is an issue that a rare issue that Democrats have an advantage on that we've seen in polls. And the way she's talking about it is especially interesting because she's not really holding back. She's getting into pretty explicit details in a way we don't usually see elected officials do. And she said part of that is trying to get people to feel some empathy and to see what is actually going on in these states. And she's using that sort of former prosecutor background. She's worked on sexual assault cases to really get her message out. So
do you guys want to know why it's so important for them to hammer on this issue? Come on, let's put it in perspective. Mika, I agree with you, baby. I agree with you. Do you know why it's so important for her to get this message out? And the number one thing that she's campaigning on, I mean, they are crisscrossing the country and she is on the campaign trail. Do you know what the number one issue is that she's talking about? Abortion rights. Abortion rights, not money, not the migrant crisis, which she's the border czar, not jobs, not housing, not homelessness, not the Fed, not the wars that we in, not the semiconductor chip war that we going on into with China, which is why we funded Taiwan, not Ukraine funding. Not what's going on in Texas, not inflation, none of that. Abortion. Come on, y'all, listen to me. Abortion rights. Because she's trying to get the people to feel something. They're telling you what they're doing. This is not something that we're making up. This is something that's coming out of her and her advisors' mouths. They want to hit of all the possible things that we can talk about. Crime over in Oakland, budget deficits, the national debt is skyrocketing. The value of the dollar is just absolutely going into the tank. We got artificial intelligence replacing people, jobs, minimum wage, raises in prices. People are getting fired left and right. Technology is uncontrolled. We're late. Our infrastructure, our bridges are falling apart. Our roads is absolutely destroyed. Every single thing that we could address in this nation. And you're telling me that the thing that they're campaigning on and that they want to have a conversation about is abortion rights. Because they want you to get emotional about your decision when you're deciding on who's going to be president of the United States of America. And if they can pull on your heartstrings for things that's not actually even going to affect you. You know why I don't care about racism? You know why I don't care if somebody white? Listen, you can't offend me if you a white. Let's say that you're a racist white man. Oh God, I don't like black people. Hey, I'm gonna use the NIGG with the hard ER on there. Let's say that you're one of those people, right? And then I walk up the street and you say, I don't like you, black guy. We're like, I don't like you either. And I'm going to keep walking. And it has no bearing and effect on me in any way, shape, or form because I'm still going to be rich and you still going to be that poor white man that said that you don't like me. When you see me walking up the street, I expect for you to be triggered because that's what happens. But it doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form or the way that I'm going to raise my daughter or the amount of money that I'm going to make or the platform that I have or the what I'm going to do professionally. It has no bearing on me whatsoever. At all. Whatsoever. You can't emotionally charge me with something that's not meaningful to my life. You know why I don't respond to women when they say, when I hold them accountable and on Instagram and I'll scroll through the comments, these men are just gay. How can you offend me with something that doesn't affect me? With something that's not meaningful to me? With something that's not real? When they say, who hurt you? And I'm sitting up there and I'm counting my millions of dollars and my wife is calling me talking about, hey, can I get a Maybach for my birthday? You can't get me to get emotionally charged about something that is not relevant. And so even when you think about abortion, okay, so we can debate and we can go back and forth about abortion rights and stuff like that, right? But ultimately, here's the issue. That's something that you can control. You can control whether you get pregnant. We have so many different types of contraceptives. We have so many different ways in which you can choose of whether you can choose to be celibate if you want to. You can also choose of whether or not you want to wait until you get married. Everything that you're doing is a choice that they're campaigning upon. So why would I care about what your position is and you crisscrossing the country using taxpayer dollars to fly on these expensive jets and you're sitting here telling me that you're the number 2 person in charge and the thing that you're campaigning on is something that I have control over. That's your campaign.
I asked her if she feels like she needs to convince voters she's ready, and she really, shut that down and said she feels ready. She thinks voters can see that while she's on the campaign trail on this big issue of abortion rights.
Tarini Mara-Gay here with the New York Times. Wondering, the vice president has been out on the trail a lot lately. Do you expect that you're going to see a different role for her if Joe Biden does win re-election? Is she doing anything special behind the scenes, too, that maybe the public isn't aware of to prepare in the eventuality that she would have to step up, God forbid?
We have seen her take
God
on
forbid.
more of a national security type portfolio. She has been involved in, in advising the president on the war in the Middle East. She's been on calls with Benjamin Netanyahu. She has been pushing the administration to adopt sort of a more empathetic posture towards Palestinians and to focus more on a post-war Gaza plan. We know she's talking about that more. She gave that big speech in Dubai a few weeks ago. So she's taking on more sort of a national security portfolio. She's also now leading the White House Office on Gun Violence Prevention. So they are trying to give her more visibility as these questions about the president's age keep coming up. And of course, now with this special counsel report are going to become an even bigger campaign issue.
Correct, Rich Ramsey.
Tarina,
You are
as we've been
absolutely
talking about
correct, Rich
questions
Ramsey.
about how much or how little
They don't
we'll
want to talk
see
about
Joe
that
Biden
$95 billion.
himself on the campaign trail, given all these questions about his performance and age and all of that from some people. Do you get the sense from Vice President Harris herself or from people around her from the campaign that we're going to be seeing much more of her?
Now, y'all got to remember what we're looking at. We're looking at MSNBC. And again, I like to go and jump over between different platforms in order to source information for us to have conversations about. Because I don't want to just stay on one platform or this platform or that platform. I like to tackle different platforms and see what they're talking about so that we can make our own informed decision.
Perhaps in places that the president won't be.
I definitely think so. She told me she plans on being everywhere. She said she rested up in December because she knew she was going to be on the road constantly between now and November. And we've seen her do a lot of that. She has been traveling a lot. I was with her in Georgia and in Wisconsin. Right now, she's focusing more on abortion rights. And like I said, that is an issue that one of the few issues that can energize Democrats right now. But she's also talking about, of course, gun violence prevention and, other issues that Democrats can get excited about, especially voters who are more progressive, minority voters, younger voters. These are the types of demographics that the White House feels she can especially appeal to in a way that maybe the president can't.
So they're basically they're telling you what the playbook is. They're saying that, listen, we're going to play to your emotions. We're going to play to your soft side. We want you to feel something. And in order for you to really be able to get out there and vote for us, we're not going to speak towards the issues that affect you the most. We're going to play on the things that actually pull on your heartstrings. But long story short, the sentiment of this article was that she's basically communicating to you guys that she's ready to lead. All right. Let's get over into women real quick, buying homes. I want to get into that part. But before we do so, I got to make sure that I acknowledge the people. Chris James says, corny line alert, Island Girl Q. I can be your Anton if you can be my Rita. He's making his pitch to you, Q. I hope you're still watching and listening and you ain't in a meeting. Island Girl Q. I can be your Anton and you can be my Rita. Let me pitch this for you. Hey, Q. You're not listening. You're not listening. I want you to really hear me out right now. Listen with your heart. I can be your Anton. You can be my Rita. But the difference is you're not going to get that Porsche. You're going to get that RAV4. Just kidding. Shout out to Miss Q. He said he got that RAV4 for you, Q. I love you guys. I love you guys. Shout out to Chris James in the building. I love that super chat. Let's continue on with the show. Mondo Za says, thanks, Anton. Will test my ego and get my feelings hurt. Woo! I'm with it, sister. If Cam wants to be president, Biden. Y'all ain't never seen what's my homegirl name? Iman Shumpert's ex-wife. When she was doing that to Bow Wow, when she was saying Biden, better watch this back, yo. I'll be in such a good mood, man. Black and Tan Bay Area Podcast says, I disagree. Men hanging around women too much can make you soft. Make me soft, baby. Make me soft. Let me see what you can do. Tiana Taylor, that's her name. Make me soft, baby. I want to see your soft side. Y'all want to be next to each other. Hoo, rah, hoo. Hoo, rah, hoo. I ain't trying to be tough with y'all. You think I'm trying to be hanging out with y'all doing like this all day? I'm not trying to be tough. I don't want to be tough. I don't want to fight. I'm not looking to go into it, all of that. I like talking to something and feeling on something soft. Real talk. Listen, I want to get massages, be laid up on a beach somewhere. I ain't nobody trying to be fighting and talking tough with y'all. What y'all think, that we trying to be? Y'all can have that, fam. Y'all can have that. I am 41 years old. I ain't got nothing else to prove to y'all. I'm cool. I'm done. The rest of my life, from here to the day, for the next 55 years, I'm going to be sitting here trying to be laid up with something soft. I don't want nothing but soft around me. I don't want no tough guys. Tough guys get you in trouble. Tough guys get you in trouble. Listen, God bless you, Black and Tan Area Bake Podcast. Listen, I know that I might be a little bit different. That's okay. I'm going to rock with it. No, I don't want both. You can have both. I only want one side. One side. Jawan Hurst says, yeah, let's not address our failing public school system abortion rights. That's the ticket. The country is becoming such a joke. Agreed. Eric Daniels is in the building. Shout out to Eric. Eric says anti-abortion rights is a winner in politics. That's a fact, though. Says, if you Trumpers want to win, you're going to have to deal with this issue whether you like it or not. And I agree with you. 100%. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. People are passionate about that. Miami-Dade County Clerks of the Courts, my people over there, says, what do you call a vice president that's everywhere but does nothing that she was hired to do? A mascot. A mascot, that's what it is. She a mascot. They tasking her with making sure that she continue to galvanize the voters. Top Notch Rocker says, AD, DoorDash, Lyft, Uber drivers on strike and on VD. Really? How you gonna strike when you a contractor? Is this always somebody to replace you? That's why they got these migrants over here. AP Funding says, I signed up for exclusive, tried to sign up for the seat at the table, but it's sold out. Shout out to the bag chasers. I appreciate you, AP Funding. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. For everybody that want to become a bag chaser, we got a couple more things that we got to go over before we get you all up out of here today. I heard that my ladies, my Mercedes, hold 4 in the back too if you're fat. I heard my ladies is out here outpacing men. Outpacing men when it comes to purchasing homes. Let's talk about it. I have not seen this, but this did come across my algorithm, and I have heard people use this as a talking point when they're debating certain subjects as far as women and men and what it is that you bring to the table, right? So let's get into it. Women are now being documented as the number one, black women specifically, as some of the number one people that are in the home buying process and purchasing homes, outpacing men. Let's play it out. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
In an era marked by soaring real estate prices and bidding wars, home ownership can feel like just a dream for many people.
Yeah, but now single women are stepping up and they're moving in, outpacing men in the housing market. Our Elizabeth Schulte sits down with some of those women behind the recent buying boom.
So this is it?
This is it.
This is your house?
Yes.
Let's see it.
Okay.
After years of paying rent, 30-year-old Kristen Holmes dreamed of walking through the front door of her own home.
It feels like my own.
What was it that made you decide you wanted to buy a house after renting?
I felt like for all the money I was spending on rent, it just made more sense to buy. And just knowing that my money is going somewhere, it might as well go towards my own investment.
She saved up $80,000 for a down payment. And after 3 years of house hunting, finally closed the deal on a fixer-upper in Hyattsville, Maryland.
I've never been to Hyattsville, Maryland. Has anybody been to Hyattsville, Maryland? Can y'all tell me whether or not it's an awesome place to anywhere is an awesome place, you know? Anywhere is an awesome place in order to buy a home or whatever it is. Y'all tell me about Maryland. Y'all tell me about that. What y'all know about Maryland? She bought a fixer-upper, put 80 bands down, bought a fixer-upper. Let's see what she got going on.
It feels good, especially when I can make decisions. If there's something I don't like, being able to do it myself.
I really think that you picked the right community.
Her realtor, Cheryl Abrams-Davis, says homes is part of a broader trend. Single women scooping up homes for sale.
In 2023, of the people who purchased homes, 6 of the 13 buyers were unmarried women.
So your own data.
So that's the thing that they spitting out, right? So I got it wrong. See, because I haven't watched this yet. They're basically saying, listen, these are single women. Single women that are buying homes. They're not saying that they married. They're not saying none of that. They said, listen, 6 out of 13 people are single women. A little less than half. A little less than half of the people that decide to purchase a home are single ladies. Single ladies. Single ladies. What do y'all think about that? I'm not giving my opinion yet. I'm just asking y'all what y'all think about it. Hyattsville is one of the highest places of crime. $84,000 median income for Hyattsville, Maryland. Interesting.
Shows that about half of people who buy homes are single women.
Data from the National Association of Realtors shows single women were 19%, about 1/5 of all home buyers last year. That's compared to just 10% who were single men.
Why do you think women are outperforming men in home ownership?
They're more likely to be caregivers. They're more likely to be perhaps a single mom, have a multi-generational home with an elderly relative in it. And so they want a stable residence and to know exactly what their payment is going to be.
Jessica Lautz of the National Association of Realtors.
Oh, look at that bowling ball. Jesus. Can we include a diet plan along with that? Is that a part of the closing gift? This is not about that. Anton, stay focused. This is not about that. Stay focused on what we're talking about right now, because I don't want you to get distracted by things that don't matter. Don't get distracted by things that don't matter, okay?
Says their data shows single women are more likely than men to make financial sacrifices, like cutting back on non-essential spending or taking on a second job in order to afford a home.
We also know that women are saying it doesn't matter. I don't necessarily have to have a ring to actually have this house that I want.
Diversity of women power in this nation.
Only 50 years ago, women weren't legally allowed to sign their own mortgages. That changed in 1974 under a federal law prohibiting discrimination by lenders on the basis of sex. Today, single women own nearly 11 million homes nationwide.
It's really cool for me to now be a homeowner and kind of see everything my mother and my grandmother worked hard for to create a legacy in our family.
At the age of 24, Kyla Wright bought her first home for about $100,000 in a suburb of Detroit.
People were asking, well, what if you want to move again? Well, I just rent it out.
But the process wasn't easy. Wright says she put in about 20 offers before closing on the sale.
I fell in love with some houses I liked. I didn't get them.
It's a familiar challenge for Brandy Solito in Connecticut.
Everything that we fall in love with and I get excited about, we get outbid immediately.
She's struggling to get a foothold in the market because of a lack of affordable homes for sale and high interest rates.
Interest right now is killing my bottom line.
Why do you think you were able to successfully buy a house at age 30? So many people right now are struggling to even think about making that kind of an investment.
I think the first thing is having a plan, each month saving a little bit more, and also working with lenders and understanding what goes behind buying a home is what led me to it. My mom always says, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
You made a plan and stuck with it.
Yes, definitely.
Mama's right.
Mama always has the best advice. And our thanks to Elizabeth Schulze for that report.
So here's my opinion on this, right? Here's my opinion on this. First of all, let me say congratulations to all of the women that are purchasing homes. There is absolutely, positively nothing wrong with women purchasing homes. There is nothing wrong with women purchasing homes. Here's my question. Why does it have to be in comparison to men? If it was only about the home, but it wasn't about comparing yourself to a man. See, men don't compare themselves to women because women is not competition to them. We're happy for you. Congratulations on being a functioning adult. Congratulations on being a functioning adult. I think that that's cool. I think you need to understand what comes along with it. I think you need to really understand that you don't own a home. You own the opportunity to pay a mortgage from the mortgage company who owns the home. And if you miss 3 payments, then they can take it back from you. I will also tell you that what you don't really understand about owning a home is that property taxes are forever, insurance payments, the maintenance that goes along with it, also repairs. All of those need to be calculated with the true cost of owning a home. And this has nothing to do with directing it towards women in particular. I just want people to be educated of what it really takes in order to own a home. Even if you rent it, you still have to take into consideration the amount of money that you put down. Because if you put down less than 20%, then you're going to be paying PMI, right? Which is private mortgage insurance. Private mortgage insurance is basically you're paying the mortgage, the person that owns the mortgage, insurance just in case you default on it because you're a riskier borrower because you put down less than 20%, right? If you get into these homes and you finance it for 30 years, which it's a strong possibility that you are, right? Then you're going to be paying primarily interest, hoping that it appreciates over a period of time so you can have some equity into the property. Also, on top of that, right, you don't really get to see the value of the home or really get the true value within a home when you take into consideration the closing costs and everything that's associated with purchasing a home or selling a home as far as realtor fees, unless you live in a home for at least 10 to 15 years, okay? So I just want y'all to take that into consideration. Congratulations. What I'm hearing from women personally is, Anton, I bit off more than I could chew. Some women are starting to get laid off because the economy is topsy-turvy. They don't know how to adjust to the circumstances. They're branching out to be out on their own in order to prove that they're independent. And if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, then you're not going to get what you're supposed to get out of it. If you're doing it for the wrong reasons, you're not going to get out of the home buying process what you think you're going to get out of it. When you have to replace the water heater, right? When you got to replace that roof, make sure you get an inspection. If you start to get termite damage, If you ever have to do have any kind of problems with a break-in and stuff like that, all of these things are factors. What I will say specifically is I think that more people need to stay home longer. There's nothing wrong with purchasing your own home. I have nothing negative to say about it. All I'm trying to do is make sure that you guys are informed on what you're getting yourself into, because a lot of people don't talk about the negatives and the positives. It's pros and cons with everything, and so you have to adjust according to your lifestyle. But what I would say is people need to stay home longer. Also, when you purchase your home, and this is just my personal opinion, stay away from environments where you have to pay an association fee. Stay away from environments where you have to pay an association fee, okay? Don't, because that association fee can adjust. It can go up. It can go down. A lot of people are having problems with their association fees. It'd be large fees associated with it. It's a lot that goes along with it. So there's more to just buying a home than just saying I own my own home. Now, you own the ability to pay the mortgage to the mortgage company, and if you default on it, then it's going to be a problem, all right? But congratulations to my ladies. I'm happy for y'all for continuing to do the thing that y'all think makes the most sense for your financial portfolio and for your life. Stay home as long as you can. Make sure you get a roommate. Lower your costs. Don't over-purchase a home just because you can afford it or just because they say you qualify for this amount. Be very, very, very careful. Very, very, very careful. All right? So I don't have anything negative to say about that as far as what was reported. Congratulations. You're a functioning adult now. I appreciate it. All right. I'm going to read Super Chat shortly. Well, actually, let's go ahead and knock these Super Chats out real quick. And then we're going to get into the last thing. So we're going to do similar to what we did yesterday. We're going to do it this week. Prince Elian says abortion rights. It's pathetic how citizens have been politically conned into believing that killing a child is a right and cool. God has been lost.
What's going on is Anton from
What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm out here playing the commercial because I hit the wrong thing. That's what I meant to hit. That's what I meant to hotkey. Shout out to Prince Elian. Wealth Building Journey says, depends on where she bought. If she's close to Riverdale, there's a lot of migrants there. But if she's closer to UMD, University of Maryland, then it can get pricey over there. I invest in Hyattsville, College Park. I have no idea of what the market is over in Maryland. Oh, man. Pookie's friend Ray Ray says, this makes sense. Men used to only buy homes to impress women to get boxed. Now you can be a bum, felon, date registered nurses, and men don't feel the need to purchase. That's a fact. That's true. Biz says, men aren't dumb enough to mortgage at 7+%. Well, you know what the narrative is going to say? Well, Anton, I can always just refinance. That's what they're going to say. That's not necessarily smart either. Rod Jones says, AD, I believe the numbers are skewed because the men aren't single. They're married. I wonder what that data, what it will look like then. I think that the numbers is always skewed, but it's always to encourage people to do more of whatever it is that they advertising at that particular time. But again, for the ones that buy a home, congratulations. There's nothing wrong with buying a home. All right. Last but not least, another budgeted video. Woman makes $132,000 a year. So yesterday we evaluated an LPN that made, I believe, like $113,000, and she was married. This woman, I believe, is single. She's single. She's a budgeting coach. Let me see if I can get her information up here so I can give her some credit for her video. Her name is Money with Sabrina. Money with Sabrina. All right. Sabrina Budget Coach is her name on TikTok. She has 120,000 followers on TikTok, and she has 1.3 million likes. She says she's a lifestyle and personal finance, helping you master your money $1 at a time. All right. Her name is Money with Sabrina. All right. So I'm going to play her video, and then we're going to evaluate what her budget is and see if she's actually mastering it correctly. She makes $132,000 salary. I do not know what she do for a living. This video was sent to me in order to react to. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
I'm 38 years old. I make $132,000 a year. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, and this is my payday routine. After taxes and deductions, my paycheck is $3,345. I have a rollover that's already in my checking account of $3,037. So today we are budgeting a total of $6,382.
Okay, let me back that up for a minute. No. Because, I'm a C student, so I'm slow. I'm slow.
A year I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, and this is my payday routine. After taxes and deductions, my paycheck is $3,345.
$3,300. So I'm guessing that she gets paid either twice a month or bi-weekly. Live in the San Francisco area. Now, what was the gross? Did she say what the gross is?
I'm 38 years old. I make $132,000 a year. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, and this is my payday routine. After taxes and deductions, my paycheck is $3,345. I have a rollover that's already in my checking account of $3,037. So today we are budgeting a total of
$3,037. So is she saying that, I'm assuming that what she's basically saying is she's budgeting for the month. Budgeting for the month. All right, so she got $3,000 in her account. She's getting paid $3,300. I'm assuming that she used $300 or whatever it is that she used in order to get food, have basic living expenses. And so she's rolling it over in order to be able to budget for the entire month. That's what I'm assuming, okay? And listen, what they taking out in taxes in California is absolutely insane. What they taking out for taxes in California as a single person, that's absolutely insane. So $6,382. Shout out to Sabrina altogether. All right, let's continue.
$6,382. Step one of my payday routine is always to look at what bills are due between now and my next paycheck. It is the beginning of the month, so there are quite a few bills, including rent, cell phone, a couple streaming services, my car payment, my bar membership, and utilities.
Bar membership? B-A-R-R-E? What is a B-A-R-R-E? I don't know what that is. B-A-R-E. Oh, workout. So that's a workout. So her gym membership. Pure Bar is the best full body workout. Bar is exercise. So her exercise membership. All right, I got it. So she go to a class. See, I need to understand everything. So she's got $1,500 in rent, $140 cell phone, $94 in subscriptions, $437 car payment, $79 gym membership, and $250 in utilities.
Are all due for a total of $2,571.
But where's the insurance? You know what I'm saying? Where's like the insurance for her car? What about gas? What about food? What about all of these other things? See, these are just the basics. I want to see what people's real life look like. You know what I'm saying? Because this could be weird. You know what I'm saying? So if her total is $2,500, all of her basics, I want to know what your lifestyle is like. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what you're spending on drinks, social, food. All of that stuff has to be budgeted for. So when you look at these TikTok videos, and I'm not saying anything is wrong with her TikTok video, but when you look at these TikTok videos, you got to take them with a grain of salt because they're not telling you what their true lifestyle is in order for them to budget. When you budget your money, y'all, I want y'all to budget for what you anticipate spending on everything. Don't just budget based off of your bills. Budget based off of how you anticipate spending your money in its entirety.
Once I've paid all of my bills, I have $3,811 remaining for my variable expenses
$3,811
and financial goals. Next up are my variable expenses. I put all of my variable expenses on a credit card, and then I pay that credit card off in full every Friday. So I do like to set aside that money in my checking account so that it's available for me to pay that card off in full.
That's fair. I'm not a fan of credit cards for most people because I think that credit cards get people in trouble. Often at times what they'll do, the idea behind a credit card as far as how they get you in is they say, hey, you can get the points so you can get free flights and all of this stuff. I'm not a fan of credit cards because I don't think that most people are disciplined enough to have them. But she's not doing it wrong. All right.
Variable expenses for me include groceries, gas, eating out, discretionary spending, personal care, as well as the allowance that I send my son who is away at college.
All right, so she did hit that. Shout out to her. She got groceries, gas, eating out, discretionary spending, personal care, and broke best friend, which is her son husband.
Discretionary spending total $750 this week.
Discretionary spending $750. See? Did y'all hear what she said, though? Did y'all hear what she said? She said $750 this week. $750 this week. Let me make sure I heard that correctly.
Son who is away at college. Discretionary spending total $750 this week.
So if you duplicate that and you say, okay, personal care, discretionary spending, eating out, gas, and groceries, that's $3,000 a month. That's $3,000 a month. So when we look at these budgets and we start to take into context clues, what was her original bills? Let me see. $2,500 plus $3,000. If you duplicate that over a series of the entire month, that's $5,500. That's $5,500. Now I'm assuming that the variable expenses are going to go up and down because that's why they call it variable, right? But here's what I'm asking. We got to find out how much she's spending to her son, right? That's away at college.
Away at college. Discretionary spending total $750 this week.
All of that is food and a little bit of makeup and some shampoo. All of that is food, eating out, groceries, you got a little bit of gas or whatever, because gas don't cost you $750 for the whole week. Max, if you fill up your tank, depending on what kind of car you got, you might get $70, but I don't know, it might be different out there in California. So let's just say at the most $100, right? So you got $650 left. The rest of that is just play. That's food. That's food.
Once I take care of my variable expenses, I have about $3,000 remaining. I'm going to put $1,000 of that in my emergency savings. $1,000 of that is going to go into my travel savings account. And then the other $1,000 I'm going to send to make a tuition payment towards my son's college tuition. And that's how I do my budget.
But see, here's the thing. Hold on, back up.
I'm going to send the allowance that I send.
What does she have? What was the total? $6,300 for the month? What did she say originally?
Rollover that's already in my checking account of $3,037. So today we are budgeting a total of $6,382.
$6,382. So if you get paid bi-weekly, let's say that you getting $6,300, or actually let's just say $6,600, $6,700. The math is not mathing to me. Because even if you have some, no. Let's say she forget the rollover, Toy. Forget the rollover. Let's say she get paid $3,300 a week, or let's say $3,350. So let's say that's basically getting $6,700 in a month, right? $6,700 in a month after taxes and whatever. Let's say she get her 401k. And so based off of what she's saying, her variable expenses, her regular expenses is one-time payments for the month. All of that stuff right there is one-time payments, all right? We didn't throw in insurance. We didn't throw in a bunch of other stuff. But here's the thing, because she's a money manager or money coach or whatever, right? When we start looking at discretionary and we start talking about that, if she's spending $750 just for the week, what does that look like week over week over week? And that's why I want to go through these and add context, because the people that look at it on TikTok, they're going to say, well, that's a great budget. I wonder how you doing it. I wonder how you get into the bag and all of that stuff. No, it's a lot of that stuff that need to be cut out. It's a lot of stuff that need to be cut out. She said her variable expenses for the week is $750. It's a lot of eating out. And we don't know the context, so she might have sent her son $300-400. Who knows? But it seemed like that's a lot of eating out for the week for one person. For one person? It's crazy. And then she put a bunch of money. She said she put $1,000 for her emergency savings, which in my opinion is foolish because I don't think that you need an emergency savings. You just need to be liquid, right? The only thing you need to do is be liquid. And that's why I want my money always working for me. I don't even do high yield savings accounts. I want my money in the market 100% of the time. Money in the market 100% of the time. That's why I advocate for people to get brokerage accounts and then make sure that you're doing a stock club or making sure that you're making informed decisions on what you're going to invest in, because I want my money working for me 100% of the time. You know what I'm saying? So that's wild. She put $1,000 into a travel budget or into a travel savings. That's wild because the money is not working for you for that either. And so you could literally be making money on top of money and then be planning for your trip whenever it is that you plan for your trip. But y'all just sitting there sitting on money, and the value of your money is continuing to go down because of inflation itself, and you're not even beating the rate of inflation when it's just sitting inside of a bank account. Now, I can't say nothing about her sending $1,000 in order to pay her son tuition. That's cool. But all I'm saying is, if you putting all of this money into a bank account in order to plan for and prepare for emergency savings and all of that, I think that that's wild, personally. Somebody said, why can't you do both? Why can't you do both for what? Every dollar that I got goes into investing. I don't need an emergency savings because the fact that I'm liquid and because listen, at any point, if I need to get to the capital, I can get to it within 2 to 3 business days. I don't need to have an emergency savings. The only thing that I need to have is to have access to the resources if I ever was to need them in the case of an emergency. No, I don't keep nothing in no checkings or savings account. That's easy to grab. Listen, I don't keep anything more than probably a little over $1,000 in a checking or in a checking account. I never keep. Now y'all seen what it is that I make, right? I just posted a video over the weekend that basically broke down exactly what it is how much I make, right? I'll show you exactly what's in my checking account right now. Because I live by what I say. $1,000. I got $1,000, $1,000 in my personal savings, in my personal checking. That's it. I don't have no money in my personal checking account. For what? What do I need money in a personal checking account for? What do I need money in a personal checking account for? What do I need money in a personal checking account for? Somebody sell me what I need money for. I will never, ever, ever, ever keep a bunch of money in a savings or a checking account. That is weird to me. That is so weird to me. My money is always going to be working 100% of the time. This is just a way for me to make sure that I can transfer money back and forth. Get the direct deposit that I get from, your regular day job or whatever. What personal expenses? What personal expenses do I have? What personal expenses? I'm curious. My business revenue goes into business accounts. That ain't got nothing to do with personal. But then I also reinvest back into the businesses, or I reinvest back into whatever it is that I'm doing from a brokerage perspective until it's time to pull the money out for me to make a bigger purchase. But my money has to be sitting working for me until I have to either pay contractors or buy another property or get into some other business or make some other investment. My point is that my money is working for me 100% of the time. A brokerage account is just another form of a bank account. You still get a debit card. You get all of these stuff, right? And so if my money is not working for me, because see, when you get to a certain level, you don't care anything about cash. Cash is dumb to me. Cash is the dumbest thing ever to me. It has no value. It's not even worth the paper that it's printed on. It's not even worth the paper that it's printed on. Cash is trash to me. 100% of it. The only thing I care about is assets. Assets. When I get my rent payments, they assets. When I get my dividend payments, assets. Assets is the thing that substantiates your net worth. Only thing I need cash for is a little petty cash just in case. Okay, so you keep a 1K in your account. My daughter may need to pay for a trip or a taekwondo or whatever like that. But I'm not trying to be sitting on no whole bunch of cash for what? What you think I need to do? A money phone? You think I want to take some pictures with my money? I got it on my watch right here. There you go. This is worth more than what I paid for it. So my point is that I'm very careful about the information that I'm giving out because I know that it's some stuff that I can only send to Patreon. But my point is that y'all need to be more concerned with buying assets. Dump everything you have into assets. Everything you have into assets, okay? Everything. The assets is the thing that's going to pay you. And then you basically looking at your money like little employees. If I got to work for it, then it's got to go out and work for me to go and make me some more money. And then I use the money that it generates to me to then do whatever it is that I want to do. But if I got to work for the money is 100% going to be working for me. You don't use the extra money left from the month or a check prior as a part of your budget. What? What extra money? I don't got no extra money. I'm broke. Every month I go broke. Every single month. So good video. Good way for us to leapfrog off of stuff in order for us to continue to have conversations about things that's important. I don't care about cash. I do carry cash. I keep a couple dollars. Show you what I keep in my pocket. I keep tip money. It's one $5 bill. It's two more, so this is $15. I got $1 here. This is $16. $17. Ooh, I got some good money in here. So 20. $37. I got one more 20. This is $57. This is the money that I got. I got $57 in my pocket. This is what I carry. And this is all money. Actually, I had $250 earlier. Seriously? All right. Let me make sure that I go ahead and edit that out. Anyways, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Let me. Shout out to Executive Suite MLE in the building. Also, my dog, Chris James, says, I like Clear Value Tax and Brandon Carter. Them guys on point when it comes to the economy and money mindset. Shout out to them. Josh the roofer says, by the way, if you need your roof looked at in Texas, reach out to me, Ram Roofing and Roofing Contracting. Shout out to Ram Roofing. Shout out to Ram Roofing. I appreciate you. Ramon Sims says, do the D-Lo Green impersonation again. No. Josh the roofer says, I got a special deal going on for single black women homeowners right now. Facts. Pookie's friend Ray Ray. Come on. Y'all got to stop. Pookie's friend Ray Ray says her eating out budget is probably for two. She probably taking the guys like me out on dates in exchange for getting them knocked down. Appreciate you. 404 Don Drigo says, how do you decide which asset to liquidate to make your larger purchases? It depends. So most of the time it's pre-planned out, right? So let's say, for example, right now I'm building houses, right? So because I'm building houses at this particular time, I usually stay liquid about $100,000. And it depends on how many houses I'm building at that particular time because I never know when I got to pay a contractor. So it depends on your circumstances. Most of the time, you know when you're about to make a bigger purchase, right? If you're about to purchase some real estate or you're about to purchase some land, for example, you have at least between a week to a month in order to close. You see what I'm saying? And so because you got to within a week to a month in order to close, because you got to call the title company and you got to get things together, it only take you a couple business days in order to be able to get liquid from your portfolio, right? And so it just depends on your circumstances. Because I have to write big checks, framing company, you got to write a $30,000 check or a $26,000 check. Roofing company, you got to write whatever that check is. The company that's doing all of the siding and all of that stuff, because I'm writing big checks, or the excavation company or the permit, have to pull an $8,000, $9,000 driveway permit and stuff like that. I tend to be a little bit more liquid in my brokerage account because I have to write bigger checks. But for most people, for most regular people, you don't have to be that liquid. But in a general sense, I keep 90 to 99%. I keep at least 99% of all of my stuff inside of a brokerage account and working for me 100% of the time. All right? Yeah, I got it. I'm taking care of it. Give me a second. Give me a second. Oh, Jesus Christ. Give me a second, Joel. All right. We all set. Problem solved. All right. Let me continue. 404 Don Drigo says, how do you decide which asset? Oh, yeah, I already talked about that. Will the CNA says, my son wants to get married. I told him, son, you don't even know how to build a budget. You run your house like a business baby steps grasshopper. Yeah, slow him down. Don't be in a rush. You got the rest of your life to figure that out. Chris James says, should your business saving money be working the same way? Business saving money? I don't have business saving money. I don't have any business savings money. All of my money gets deployed. Every single dollar gets deployed. My biggest problem on a day-to-day basis is trying to figure out how I can get rid of the money. My biggest problem on a day-to-day basis is trying to figure out how to get rid of the money. I don't have no business savings. I got to get rid of the money. Kashawn Huggins with the 10 ball, I appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you for continuing to hold me down. It's been a fun show today. This was a fun show. It looks like my DoorDash is on the way, Beyond Juice. So I'm looking forward to that. Got my acai bowl coming. So it's lunchtime for some of us. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description, as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Make sure you get that Tiege Hanley. 30% off your first order plus a free gift. I love you guys. I appreciate you. But I need y'all to do me one more favor before we get up out of here, y'all. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. We don't want to do this by ourselves. We don't want to be successful by ourselves. I love you. I appreciate you. You guys are the greatest audience on the face of this earth, and I appreciate it. I love y'all. Fun show. Can't wait to see y'all tonight for After Hours. Let's get it.